Did you know that a single handful of Hong Kong kung fu films in the 1970s sparked dojo revolutions from Los Angeles backstreets to Parisian rooftops? These 15 gritty classics didn't just rack up millions at the box office. They rewrote the rules of fight choreography and planted the first seeds of a global martial arts movement. But before we unleash those roundhouse kicks, smash that like button and ring the bell, because you won't want to miss a single jaw-dropping moment. Magnificent Ruffians, 1979. At the tail end of the 70s kung fu boom, Magnificent Ruffians arrived like a late-night street brawl, raw, unpolished, and unforgettable. Set against the backdrop of waning empire intrigue, this Shaw Brothers underdog turned heads with its ragtag team of drifters who train in the outlaw brotherhood to avenge a fallen master. While not a Bruce Lee headline, it revolutionized group fight staging, 5 against 5, choreographed in tight corridors with whirling kicks and flying elbows. The film's breakthrough came when stunt coordinator Sammo Hung, already a rising name, imposed bruising realism, cutting no corners on bone-shattering impacts and sweat-slicked faces. Hung's on-screen cameo as the scarred brawler lent the movie its star power, as he and co-lead Carter Wong reportedly rehearsed martial arts katas for weeks under blistering heat, blood blisters and all. Their climactic tavern showdown still influences ensemble fight scenes in Hollywood blockbusters today. Culturally, Magnificent Ruffians resounded in San Francisco's Chinatown clubs, where karate students mimicked its improvised weapons, from beer bottles to wooden stools. It triggered underground fight club circuits, inspiring a subculture that blurred cinema and reality. Shaolin Wooden Men, 1976. Emerging in the mid-decade, Shaolin Wooden Men stands as a testament to discipline over spectacle. Unlike the bombastic brawls of its peers, this film isolates its hero in the claustrophobic chambers of the Shaolin Temple, where mechanical wooden dummies await to crush the unworthy. Shot in shadowy corridors, the movie's stark lighting and deliberate pacing built suspense one strike at a time. Its breakthrough came from restoration of traditional Shaolin rituals. Monks in full orange robes co-choreographed every blow, lending authenticity that Western audiences had never seen. Lead actor Chan Shen trained for 6 months in actual temple grounds, learning to anticipate the wood dummies' spinning arms, a stunt so dangerous that the crew built emergency brakes behind the scenes. The film's star power soared when Shaw Brothers billed it as the ultimate test of human will, drawing in crowds frustrated by flashy gimmicks. Its austere fight breakdown, no wires, no wireframes, became a touchstone for purists and influenced David Carradine's later approach on Kung Fu, the TV series. On San Diego's early martial arts conventions, instructors showcased the Wooden Man style as a separate discipline, spawning dojo side courses that persist to this day. Hand of Death, 1976. In the murky world of 1976's Hand of Death, revenge wears a toxic glove. This Shaw Brothers gem opens with a venom-soaked assassin dispatching a martial arts clan, setting the stage for a deadly counterstrike. The film's groundbreaking moment was its introduction of biochemical peril, blade-hidden poison, and biohazard lore, instead of the usual kicking and clawing. Audiences gasped at gore-free, yet bone-deep thrills. Co-directed by martial arts legend John Woo, under his pre-hero name, this picture catapulted David Chiang into leading man territory. Chiang's real-life training in deflecting edged weapons informed every parry, giving fight scenes an intimacy that lingered long after the credits. Sound designers layered metal-on-metal clangs with whispered hisses to accentuate the poison theme. In Tokyo's underground fight clubs, imitators began sparring with latex-coated knuckles, calling it the Hand of Death drill, a trend that briefly flooded dojo supply shops with poison replica gloves. Ironfisted Monk, 1977. Breaking from the revenge epic mold, Ironfisted Monk arrived in '77 as a spiritual journey masked in martial arts glory. Loosely inspired by the legendary monk Wong Fei Hung, it balances introspection with fist-to-face violence, an early kung fu hybrid that predicted the art house boom. Its breakthrough moment came when director Lau Kar-leung, a master of Hung Gar style, insisted on filming on location in remote Buddhist temples. Lead star Gordon Liu lived among real monks, immersing himself in meditation and herbal diets. The result? Fight scenes that feel like religious rites, each staff strike echoing centuries of discipline. Critics hailed Liu's performance as the embodiment of physical devotion, and Western press began describing him as Kung Fu's Gandhi. The iconic final duel, shot at dawn with sunbeams through temple arches, remains a blueprint for cinematic spirituality. Across Europe's burgeoning martial arts festivals, Ironfisted Monk screenings became accompanied by live Chai jump demonstrations, fusing film and festival culture. Shaolin Mantis, 1978. By 1978, martial arts cinema craved innovation. Enter Shaolin Mantis, the first film to translate insect-inspired kung fu to the screen. With choreography mimicking mantis claws and angular footwork, it feels like watching a deadly ballet in a bamboo grove. Its breakthrough lay in scientific study. Choreographer Tao Li compiled hours of insect documentaries to craft moves that snapped and pried like real mantis limbs. Lead actor Brian Leung spent weeks in entomology labs practicing mantis reflex drills. His fingers curled just like the predators he emulated. Although not a box office titan, Shaolin Mantis garnered cult status in Australia and Brazil, where people abandoned boxing gloves for sharpened mantis claw attachments at street fight gatherings. The Big Boss, 1971. When The Big Boss exploded onto Hong Kong screens in 1971, it shattered a decade of kung fu tropes and crowned Bruce Lee as cinema's first true martial arts powerhouse. Set against the drab interiors of an ice processing plant near the Thailand border, the film mirrored real labor migrant tensions, giving audiences both grit and glory. Lee's breakthrough came from his unscripted intensity, a flurry of fists so rapid the camera struggled to keep up, redefining on-screen speed. His almost silent hero, Chung Chao-an, transforms from mild rice factory worker into lethal avenger when his cousins fall victim to a drug ring boss. Lee's relentless training regimen, up to 1,000 push-ups daily, translated on-screen to bone-crunching authenticity. The crescendo in the frozen warehouse pits Lee against a squad of thugs in tight quarters. Low-angle shots emphasize his power, while quick cuts highlight every snap knee and elbow strike, creating a visceral punch clock rhythm still studied by choreographers today. The Big Boss sold over 1 million tickets in its first 2 weeks in Hong Kong and sparked anti-drug trafficking PSA campaigns across Asia's cinemas. Martial arts schools from Manila to Los Angeles advertised Chung Chao-an-style classes. Fist of Fury, 1972. In 1972, Fist of Fury picked up where The Big Boss left off, only this time Bruce Lee's Chung Jin avenges his master in an incendiary nationalistic firestorm. Released amid real Sino-Japanese tensions, the film portrayed Lee's lone warrior demolishing oppression with brutal precision. Lee's Nunchaku massacre scene shocked global censors, making Fist of Fury the first HK film to feature extended weapons combat, leading to worldwide bans on nunchaku in theaters. Lee's ripped forearms, veins pulsing, became a symbol of defiance. He insisted on filming the school courtyard massacre in one continuous take, no cuts, so the emotional weight never dissipated. The climactic temple duel uses deep focus lenses, letting every bead of sweat and flicker of anger read in perfect clarity. The sound design blends traditional gong hits with feral grunts, immersing viewers in each strike. Japanese distributors pulled the film, but bootleg prints soared through Southeast Asia. Karate studios in California renamed their Shotokan classes Chung's Fury in tribute. Enter the Dragon, 1973. Enter the Dragon wasn't just Bruce Lee's Hollywood debut, it was the film that catapulted Kung Fu into every living room on Earth. Co-produced by Warner Brothers and Shaw Brothers, its $850,000 budget ballooned to $25 million in box office receipts, shattering color film records in 64 countries. The climactic mirror room sequence introduced kaleidoscopic fight choreography, 7 camera persons capturing Lee slicing through reflections, an effect so iconic that it's endlessly homaged in modern blockbusters. Lee's magnetic charisma shone opposite John Saxon and Jim Kelly. Off-camera, Lee rewrote scripts to infuse his Jeet Kune Do philosophy, insisting the camera never masked a fakery in fights. From the deadly hall of mirrors to the tunnel fight finale, each movement is a masterclass. Slow-motion kicks punctuate high-speed strikes, while Lee's fluid footwork foretells MMA's later rise. After release, martial arts class enrollment in North America soared by 400%. Disco Kung Fu fusion clubs opened in London, and MTV-era music videos later borrowed its lightning edits. The 36th Chamber of Shaolin, 1978. By 1978, martial arts cinema craved philosophical depth. The 36th Chamber of Shaolin delivered with monk in training Sante, Gordon Liu, conquering 6 punishing chambers to earn true warrior status and invent a secret 36th chamber to train laypeople. Lau Kar Lung fused rigorous Hung Gar forms with narrative discipline, staging each chamber's trial as a short film of its own. The 36-step footstool routine became a rite of passage in dojos worldwide. Gordon Liu, a diminutive performer, sold every strike with uncanny precision. He lived as a Shaolin disciple for 3 months, no modern comforts, which shows in his raw, bone-deep performances. The final chamber's bamboo pole sparring is a ballet of gravitational shifts. Poles launch and crash, while Liu's subtle feints preempt every blow. Cultural ripple. In New York's Chinatown, young enthusiasts formed Shaolin clubs, staging midnight drills replicating each chamber's trial, an underground phenomenon chronicled in early martial arts zines. Drunken Master, 1978. Drunken Master reinvented kung fu comedy by pairing acrobatic slapstick with hidden strength philosophy. Jackie Chan's breakout role as Wong Fei Hung's mischievous student, who only masters martial arts by embracing intoxicated flow, was both hilarious and breathtakingly athletic. Chan choreographed the Drunken Eight style, blending breaks, spins, and deceptive stumbling, each move timed to the clang of bottle shards. This fusion of humor and high-risk stunts birthed an entirely new subgenre. Chan performed 95% of his own stunts, suffering bruised ribs and a cracked collarbone, because he believed the slightest body double trace would betray the "for ears, not eyes" ethos. The final barroom brawl is a perpetual motion machine. Overhead shots capture Chan sliding under tables, flicking chairs, and firing porcelain teapots with ninja-like precision. The soundscape erupts with shattering glass and Chan's own guttural yelps. After its Hong Kong release, Drunken Master inspired drunken boxing classes in Los Angeles and London, complete with barstool sparring nights that melded fitness and festivity. 5 Deadly Venoms, 1978. Shaw Brothers. 5 Deadly Venoms gathered the legendary Venom mob in a high-stakes hunt for a missing martial arts manual, each assassin wielding an animal-inspired style. Filmed at the peak of Hong Kong's studio era, it fused archetypal characters, centipede, snake, scorpion, lizard, and toad, into one narrative tapestry, a breakthrough that made ensemble kung fu a global phenomenon. Stunt legends Sun Qian and Lo Meng trained under real-life masters of animal forms, drilling every claw parry and whip kick until bruises ran like battle scars. The film's signature fortress siege, with each venom revealed in shadow and torchlight, set a new standard for suspense in fight cinema. Audiences from São Paulo to Stockholm organized Venom Nights, reenacting the betrayals and duels in underground circuits. Venom masks sold out in Chinatown night markets. Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, 1978. Before Drunken Master made Jackie Chan a superstar, Snake in the Eagle's Shadow introduced us to his flawless blend of comedy and combat. This film revived an almost lost Snake style as a bullied orphan learns to mimic the serpent's fluid strikes under a retired master. Chan choreographed every flourish himself, slithering low sweeps, blistering finger jabs, during a grueling 3-month regimen that saw him spar barefoot on crushed glass to build toughness. The pivotal tavern ambush, shot in one take, showcased his emerging gift for turning everyday props, teapots, lanterns, into deadly extensions of his body. In Chicago and Birmingham, martial arts schools renamed beginner classes Snake Fundamentals, citing Chan's sneaky footwork drills as foundational. Way of the Dragon, 1972. Bruce Lee's directorial debut, Way of the Dragon, took him from Hong Kong to Rome, pitting East versus West in a quest to protect a family dojo besieged by mob muscle. Lee wrote, directed, and starred, an unprecedented trifecta that shattered studio norms and bankrolled his creative freedom. The film's breakthrough is the Colosseum duel, where Lee pulverizes Italian stuntman Bob Wall with naked fist precision. Lee's insistence on minimal cuts meant the camera caught every beat of sweat and micro-shift in weight, an authentic fight rhythm that remains the gold standard. Pop culture ripple, karate studios from Stockholm to Sydney renamed their advanced striking course, the Dragon Method, advertising, "Learn it from Lee's spirit." King Boxer, 5 Fingers of Death, 1972. Released as 5 Fingers of Death in the U.S., King Boxer became the first Hong Kong film to top America's box office, proof that Kung Fu could conquer Hollywood. Its tale of a humble disciple rising to avenge his master struck a chord amid the Vietnam War's fading echoes, blending honor with explosive combat. Lead actor Jimmy Wang Yu, already a star, choreographed fight scenes in cramped bamboo groves, innovating angled camera techniques that amplified impact. The iconic 1-inch punch debut here predated Lee's version, shocking audiences with a single blow that sent foes flying. After its stateside success, American martial arts schools boomed by 300%, and King Boxer Nights became staple events at drive-in theaters coast to coast. Game of Death, 1978. Bruce Lee's Game of Death stands as both his final film project and an unfinished masterpiece. Designed around a 5-level pagoda, each floor hosted a different fighting style, Lee versus boxing icon Chuck Norris in the penultimate battle. Although Lee died before completion, director Robert Clouse wove Lee's original footage with doubles to honor his vision of transcendent combat. The film's breakthrough lies in the pagoda concept, each floor a psychological crucible, from barefoot karate to nunchaku fury, laying groundwork for modern level-based fight narratives in video games and films. After its posthumous release, Game of Death became a mythic blueprint. Martial arts tournaments internationally staged pagoda challenges where competitors advanced ring by ring. If you felt the adrenaline, smash like, share with your Fight Club crew, and subscribe for more untold cinema legends. Until next time, keep your spirit strong and your fists sharper.